Hello there, lads. This is LD Claudia speaking. Welcome to the long play session of Splatterhouse, Part 1 through 3, or particularly speaking, Splatterhouse Trilogy. Now, I originally want to go ahead and get started at least playing all the free games right away in this stream, but before I actually do, I think some people may be particularly wondering exactly regarding what the heck is this QA session for the Simidolian, and what the heck original IP are you actually working on behind the scenes? Well, fret not. I'll be happy to provide you all the information you need, and I'll be happy to have a quick little tour regarding this little blog site I have created for myself. So, while I waste my time staring at this please stand by screen, and why not transition into the webpage I'm currently in right now? Now, if you give me just one moment. This may take a while for me to edit, so do bear with me as I configure some stuff. Ah, here it is. Now, what you actually see right here is this is meant to be my official blog post where I want to keep myself an update over exactly the type of progress I have made since I first started work on the book, The Simidolian, well, technically, The Awakening in this case, back in 2019. Originally, when I first worked on this book, it never really was meant to be called the the Awakening, but it's actually meant to be simply called the Simidolian. What is the Simidolian, you might ask? What in case anyone's interested, this is meant to be a psychological crime thriller espionage, where we get to see Jacob Wolsey actually go out in the underworld and hunt down bounties throughout the galaxy. I'll look to provide you a summary, but I'd like to have a little quick tour over some of the posts I have made thus far. So, let's start way back in the beginning, and I'll be happy to explain along the way over exactly why I decided to create this blog post. If I could actually think of a good reason over exactly why I create this blog post, the reason here is hey, I want to be able to keep track of some of the giddy up life experience I have actually made since I first began development over the book. My goal for this blog is to discuss some of the biggest challenges I need to go through, some of the learning lessons I've actually have taken when I'm actually working on a novel, and I also want to be able to reflect upon some of the older legacy video games that led me towards the creation of The Awakening. So this is one of my first blog posts I've actually created over here. Originally, when I actually worked on the Simidolian, it originally started off as a novella, and the title that it was originally started off as is meant to be Roman Dead or Alive. I do have some builds you can actually access to and read for yourself via royalroads.com, but this build is considered to be outdated, unfortunately, but I made a lot of major overhauls with this build. And these are some of the key features that actually goes over. One of the important key features I want to make it clear from the start is this is meant to be an origin story that introduces a brand new protagonist. It also presents a brand new world. Prior to its development during the Awakening, I always wanted to create an allegory literature that is, quote, meant to be a metaphor of Prey 2 and Star Wars 1313. While I'd love to at least dive into a bit of oral history regarding the development for both Prey 2 and Star Wars 1313, unfortunately, I won't be able to at least discuss about it at the time of this podcast, but I hope to get to some really interesting, rich history within the years to come. But hey, what type of setting am I actually going for? Well, in this case, this is going to be a space opera. We're not going to be just limited to just typical crime detective approach. The main draw is meant to be a psychological thriller with a focus on a keeper story and espionage. And this is meant to be one runoff moment for The Awakening. And one of the big goals of, in order to build a proper character development for the main protagonist, I want to experience some psychological thrillers that involves the past experience with insurgent warfare, as well as torments of the mask itself. You'll need to look for a way to break from his nightmares by simply hunting down bounties. This blog basically goes over many of the experience I've actually been brought since I was like a little kid back in the 90s before transitioning towards the 2000s. Of course, this is around the time when the Twin Towers were still standing in 1999. Whew. It's a really, really important part for me because this led me to want to seek out original new ideas. And the reasoning beyond why The Awakening was actually created is because I got fed up over so many corporate, like, out of touch people that are continuing to destroy every single brand I absolutely have grown up when I was a kid. Truth be told, I used to be a big fan of Star Wars, but by the time Disney actually ended up acquiring like Lucasfilm, and they absolutely made one of the worst masterstroke films in the series in 2010s, I stopped caring about Star Wars at this point, and I knew I wanted to take a very different direction. Case in point, I remember when it was in the new year of 2018, I would say 2019 actually. I remember it was in 2018. I remember I was approached by a bunch of Christian people. I'm gonna withhold which community church they're gonna be for legal reasons. The reason they come up to me is by saying the word, "Hey, what is your New Year resolution?" And one of my first response is, "I want to work on an allegory literature, as stated here." Hence, after years of development for my in development novel, which occurred around the time between 2019 through 2021, I have transitioned towards an in-dev during this stage. So yeah, I hope to at least pursue my career into like the interactive industry, but oh well, it'll come some other time once a book reaches towards near completion. So let's move on to some other stuff. I have created like a couple other leaked materials, and I can explain the reason beyond exactly why they were created. The reason why I created these like leaked documents is because I want to offer some pretty good proper context that led us to the events before the awakening, right? For example, these actually include how many of the bully was actually assassinated. I don't want to spend your time reading this. You can basically pause this video now and just read it for yourself if that captures your fancy. And here is another page I do want to get to. Medical documents exposed. Tells you everything you really need to know regarding about the character of the Awakening. This is really good because it gives us a little snapshot of exactly what to actually expect regarding for Awakening, right? I want to at least like showcase some other interesting articles, but I'll make sure not to be off tangents for long periods of time for this. But when it comes to at least like development on the Awakening, you got to understand that how the entertainment industry has changed so many years. We started off our humbling beginnings, working on some films in Hollywood. We watched movies like in theaters, but then we started to watch VHS for cheap entertainment. I mean, compared to what you actually experienced versus, say, in the 1970s, 50s, all the way up to 2020s, you realize that the entertainment industry has changed so much. And what you see in this diagram before you is TLDR. Hey, when I'm working on a psychological crime thriller espionage, not only I want to take inspiration from Prey 2 and Star Wars 1313, but I also want to offer plenty of nod towards many of the spy thriller, allegory literatures, and espionage, not just the typical sci-fi. And here we are down here. These are some of the giddy up lists of exactly what I don't want to be, and I refuse to ever make such literature like that. Pretty self-explanatory, if you ask me. When I was actually working on The Awakening, I always said to myself, hey, terrorists are meant to be the absolute real threat. 24, I'm not sure if anyone watched it, is a really major influence for me when it comes to working on the development. You see, we are actually facing fears of terrorism prior to when we first entered the 2020. And within the past 20 years, we are still facing a lot of posts of potential terrorist threats every single day. It could be anywhere from the range of dark cartels all the way Islamic extremists. Very scary stuff. I know. But the animal farm in particular is a really interesting subject. And I know a lot of people out here might scratch their heads about this, but I could actually explain. When I was actually reading Animal Farm, Orwell did a really good job of at least exemplifying some events that include some stuff that occurred during the Russian Revolution in 1917, and also led us to the Stalinist era. Meanwhile, the comics, The Fable, written by Will William, was actually meant to be a metaphor of the Israel-Palestinian conflict. While neither aren't really technically political by design, nor they're not actually meant to function like there's an activist shoved up in our throat, the main goal of when actually working on these two literature is they want to focus on the believable character narration that represents a hidden meaning with moral and ethnic significance. And when it came to at least like working on Jacob Volsky, I always wanted to make a vigilante slash bounty hunter that is no longer in severe deficits. Basically, what that means is I don't want my character to be in a decline. I basically highlight many of the key details that discuss about what it takes to actually create a new main protagonist. And when it comes to at least making a main protagonist, it's very important that you shouldn't really make the character absolutely like straight, shallow. Instead, I wanted to make it absolutely rounded. Anywhere from making the character relatable, building a profile history, and I also want to explain many of the why aspects, but don't let the what be the main draw. This is very, very important. And every day when I think about this keyword no deficits, I always think long hard over exactly what Rush Limbaugh actually said prior to before he passed away. And it says in the quote, "Go ahead and have your recession if you insist, but you have to pardon me if I choose not to participate." This is the quote that will forever always be with me when I'm actually working on the book, The Awakening, and I'm absolutely going to take his words even when he's no longer around. I imagine most like key industry filmmakers will something say Francis Ford Coppola, Steven Spielberg, and George Lucas. Yeah, they're not going to be around within the next 10 to 20 years. And they're basically got to be around like 80 years old if I were to absolutely guess. But hey, it comes to my attention that I'm going to have to move on, and I'm going to make sure that I want to offer something that every reader absolutely want. The answer to that is we need our character to be absolutely balls of steel. I'm not exaggerating, and I'm not kidding when I say this. I mean balls of steel. You gotta have the balls to at least tell myself, hey, I'm gonna actually hunt down a bunch of terrorists. I need to destroy it now, or else the world is about to absolutely end. Hey, I gotta go out and rescue my girlfriend, and so forth. The biggest thing you have to understand is we need to have like some specific key conflict that actually sparks the character to drive myself. I'm gonna go out and hunt those bounties because that's what the mask told me to do so. Spoiler alert. So yeah, Duke Nukem. While I'm never gonna hold my breath for another Duke Nukem game to appear, say like Unreal Engine 5, Unity, or whatever game engine they actually use, this character in particular will always stick into my head as I'm working on The Awakening, if not the Rush Limbaugh quote. So yeah, quite the charmer, if I say so. If you really want to at least like visit any of these sites, I'll be happy to at least post like The Awakening, and you, as the viewer, can actually read it at any given time. Let's move on to our next webpage, shall we? Since I first started like my blog, I currently have roughly over 15 blog posts actually put together. I had made some changes here and there regarding my plans over exactly, okay, how I can at least pursue towards the editing writing techniques, which I clearly illustrate over here. I also discussed many of the subjects that I've actually learned that was a real peachy for me to learn, anywhere from the past tense, present tense, and the future tense, as illustrated down here. Correction spelling, I don't really want to at least like go over and lecture it as an English language, but just understand that sometimes we might actually spell some certain words that are probably off. And if I ever need to correct it, I'll just go ahead and simply correct it and do just that. So this one's pretty self-explanatory. This one over here, this is the griping part that I think I struggled the most. And if I'm uncertain over exactly like whether it's meant to be past tense or not, the only obvious solution when trying to proofread most of my materials is to simply proofread it. I gotta make sure I read it out loud and see whether or not I actually throw in the ED or place. Sometimes it might not actually be the ED. It might be something completely else, such as cast or put, for example. It really depends on what type of like phrase or words I'm actually currently writing thus far. But something I do want to make sure I point out for your convenience. Monologue. I really do want to at least incorporate a lot of quality of life improvements from monologues. These includes taking a look at the characters of what the character actually think of, both directly and indirectly. You might have some monologues where, hey, I want to incorporate some scenes where you mention the moon is absolutely falling, metaphorically. And that implies to me that, hey, something really bad is happening. Whereas a storm is coming basically implies we are about to launch a total war, a ground invasion, and we're going to strike the enemy back where they came from. I need to incorporate some proper monologues, and I really hope to polish the rework the prose. It's a bit of trial error when it comes to at least like writing some interesting literature, but hey, it's all about making some happy accents and editing. And there's a bunch of other interesting writing techniques I like to showcase over here. Just a couple examples I'd like to go through. Originally, I always wanted to see myself transition towards from alpha to beta. I didn't really think this was going to be really that feasible during this stage. And I believe that the only feasible solution I could actually take is to transition towards alpha stage 2. And in order to understand exactly what this stage 2 actually entails, these are the following goals I want to achieve, specifically for this year. And fortunately for me, I have checkmarked most of these materials, but unfortunately, I still need to proofread all the materials again to make sure they are in sync. And I just simply let the writing just dance. Metaphorically. Okay, so the stuff I have worked on in 2023, these include studying and analyze creative writing techniques, commence editing the entire book again, publish a novella in preparation for the Debarro Prison, launched possibly this year, which made some decent progress. I'm not going to hold my breath it'll actually come out this year, but maybe it might get pushed back towards next year. No date, no nothing. Don't hold your breath, it'll be coming out anytime soon. And again, this is meant to be for the Debarro Prison. I do want to make sure I point it out there, out of the door. But while I'm getting the Debarro Prison ready, I need to commission a cover book artist to create cover art for both the novella, just a novella for now, and then later on, I need to get another cover book artwork for the novel. That's it. I wanted to build games running in Unreal Engine 5, but you know what? Scrap that. I'm not going to use that game engine. It's just not going to work for me. So I might as well use an open source game engine community, which is Red Dot. Yeah, I think it's Red Dot I'll be using. And it's all going to be run primary in C# as opposed to C++. Or maybe I could actually use G dot. Or actually, scratch G dot. I actually want to use S and BOX, Sandbox, which is basically a weird modification of, say, Unity, Source 2, and SBOX itself, and built games specifically for that engine. I don't know if there'll be something I could bring it to commercial products, similar to many of the other source games from, say, released in the 2000s in 2010, prior to when Team Fortress 2 went free to play. But it's a wild card based on what Valve is actually going to do, so I can't really comment on that. Development on the world building kept indefinite. I hope to at least pick it up at some point sooner or later, but it really depends on the timing, I suppose. Though not all materials for the world building document would make the cut towards like the book. I want to make sure I focus on the small scale and only explore some of the world buildings that I believe to be far more relevant. You get some snippets over here and then over here, but it doesn't really get away with the book. But it's kind of just there. The last part, polish, polish, polish. I'm going to need to do all these polish within the next few years so I can crawl my way towards beta. And that's really about it. I've also incorporated some proper clauses, which when I actually incorporate these clauses right here, I told myself, hey, whatever work I actually did back there, I'm going to absolutely protect whatever work I actually did and do not want any outsiders from ever interfering with whatever work I did behind the scenes. I don't want people doing that. I don't want people tarnishing my work, and I have no interest, at least, like damaging the reputation of the brand. So in order to do this, these are the rules I want to keep. I want to keep it absolutely final, and I'll never allow them to at least like ruin my humbling work I have put so much resource in for years. Using all these planned materials as well as the clause, I hope to actually make an impact towards the interactive industry and make my own voice heard. I didn't just simply want to become a writer, you have to understand. I want to write because I understood history. If I know an author of, say, George Orwell or Bill William absolutely understood their history, then I got it understood by history so I could at least make a point. It's all about based on what I have witnessed. I'm going to write some stuff that I believe is true. There are some stuff that are not true. But the most important golden rule of all, I'm going to need to make sure I build some specific narrative that is meant to be an absolute lie. Absolute lie. These are the real key precious ingredients I'm going to at least need to build myself a narrative. And I'm not going to regret some of the choices I've actually made when developing on the book. Okay. Other than that, I'd love to showcase some other posts, but there is one last thing I'd like to showcase to you. And I'll be happy to read it to your words only. So, give it a listen and let me speak. On a cold, stormy night, Jacob Wolski was venturing through the mine shaft. His goal was to bypass the security checkpoint and make it to the other side of the mountain. Unfortunately, the mine shaft was abandoned when a pirate raid drove the defense force towards the mines. The force drowned every invader, choked by the underwater springs. The resistance wouldn't dare venture towards the mines. The site was haunted. Upon climbing up the second floor, a vile pest spooked the vigilante. He fell off and was left unconscious. Left for dead, Jake was greeted by the appearance of a mask that bears a resemblance of a saber skull. Originally belonged to the mysterious tribe, the mask now served as a police military branch of the Simidolian. Spurred on by the thoughts of the Quadia War and the secret mask, Jake woke up in the tram to hunt down bounties that reside within the underworld. On the wrong road ahead, you'll have to hunt down a jihad leader. The jihad referred to themselves as the Quadia Pathers. Most importantly, he will need to shut down the Awakening Communication app. Jake will need to destroy the app before the sleeper cells will create havoc in New York City. These is the Awakening summary I wanted to create all along. And this is the only little snippet I can actually offer you on what to expect for the upcoming The Awakening novel. Technically, the book is meant to be like a 3-part series, and while I've actually made some pretty good progress thus far, there's still a lot of work I'll need to go through in order to get this book ready. Other than that, if you really want to tune to this site, if you like to, let me showcase the URL link. I'll just go to the home page. It's right here in the chat. I'm not sure this actually works for me, but there you go. Well now with that out of the way, I am planning to go ahead and call my little code opening a conclusion, and I'm going to transition towards the game. If you give me just a few moments, let me get a few things all set up, and I'll be right back. Okay, some bit of context of what you need to understand. In this first scene right here, you're meant to at least see Rick and his girlfriend, Jennifer, is basically running his way towards the mansion over here, as you no doubt could tell. This is what's just originally meant to at least showcase, and the reason why I want to give you context is I want to offer you a proper little introduction over exactly what Splatterhouse is meant to be in the setup where it goes for. So Rick goes in here. What happened here is Evil Vial of Darkness basically knocks Rick left for dead, and he's basically awakened by the mask. I wonder where that I actually heard that before. Give me a moment as I blur this out and pull something very important. And after he got like himself into coma, this is what actually happens. The mask actually approaches Rick. He puts it on. He becomes this really genetically really powerful character who actually fights his way through Evil Vial of Darkness, which is what you are about to experience. I just thought it would be necessary to at least showcase the proper introduction of Splatterhouse. But in case anyone is wondering, as I get a few things all set up, Splatterhouse, as you no doubt could tell, is meant to be a 2D brawler video game. It basically shares a lot common with the Final Fight game. Well, no, not Final Fight, but it basically shares a lot common with, say, the 2D brawlers of, say, Iron, where the goal of the game is you have to navigate Rick through the Evil Vial of Darkness, beat your way through it, and then reach towards the final boss. For the sake of the free games I'll be playing, the first title I'll be playing is going to be for the TurboGrafx 16. I'm going to need to get that emulator running. Let me make sure I get this audio and video all set up. Should be coming up right about now. Let me see. Weird. I am going to go ahead and troubleshoot some stuff, so do bear with me as I get a few things all set up. The ports I'm actually playing here, Splatterhouse, is a much far more competent build than I normally would suspect. I mean, it looks really cool too, if you ask me. And guess what? That game is somewhat a little easier than it is in the arcade, which isn't ideal for the stream, but hey, I love to at least I play this game and thought it'll be a great way to at least celebrate Halloween. Hmm. Okay, let me restart this again. I had everything working before, I swear. Apparently, the emulator is not playing quite nice. Oh, there we go. I got it. Hold on, I'm tuning it in. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, I probably might need to reconfigure some stuff. Not to worry, I'll refresh. Here it is. Voila! Right here in possession. You know what? If you got any particular questions regarding what I actually showcase here, feel free to ask right away. Otherwise, if you're really curious about like my progress of what I've made regarding development of the novel, feel free to tune into the URL link I just posted on the chat. Either way, I don't really care, honestly. I'm just gonna play it for my own enjoyment. This is the best way to at least like celebrate Halloween. So let's get started. Do enjoy like some of the fine music that is being presented in this screen, because this soundtrack, it's really goated. And I really love the aesthetic how it matches compared to many of the 80s like slasher horror tropes. Yeah. Screw the little controllers. Gotta make sure you get used to it. Gotta make sure to learn to slide, and that slide ability is gonna be very important. I promise. Alright, let's get out of here. This game, as you no doubt could tell, it's pretty simple and straightforward. You just have to fight your way through monsters, and you're introduced to look like a bunch of weapon pickups that are laid out in the level. Nothing really terribly that complicated. You just have to make sure you be very aware of all the danger and time each of those moves right, which is really the big part of Splatterhouse Arcade. Ah, I took damage, but that's okay. Stand here. I'm just gonna simply cheese for some sort of parts in the sections. Not every level can be cheese, but when you can basically barrel through it just fine if you know exactly what you're doing. This boss fight basically forced me to fight all these little worms. Punch, kick, depending on where they're actually coming from. But it's really straightforward to carry your way through this. And done. Cakewalk. Okay, stage 2. This is a much... Ooh. Difficulty gets amped up. Gonna have to be aware of some very danger that lies left and right. And there's also some monsters that might come from behind, so I must be wary of that. Got a little sloppy, but that's okay. I'm getting out of here. My character's gonna just move slow as heck because I'm in underwater. But you have to make sure you grab that bat and be very close towards these little, like, water monsters that come out of the sewer. Oh my god. If you actually play the Virtual Arcade, the audio of this thing is, like, majestic. And the presentation is really, like, brilliantly done. And this is occurred, like, around the time when the arcade scene was transitioning towards, like, some really powerful graphics. Oh, I dropped something, but that's okay. Let me get up. Get up there, and I shall fight my way. This room, a little peachy, but it's pretty cakewalk to at least barrel through. But you might take some damage, depending on where the projectiles might come from. Gotta be mindful of the positioning of where the chair is gonna be. Oh, nope, not over yet. And done. Oh, that was so tricky. Those knives. I got lucky at least I made the kick. So I get it in range. Okay, stage 3. This is a pretty cakewalk run to be able to cheese it through. How I'm gonna cheese through it? Well, you see that shotgun in the ground? You pick it up, and you take it with you near the end of the level. Ow. Just want to kick that thing. I wasted a round or so, but oh well, it's okay. I gotta get out of here. Anyways. Kick. Just simply kick, because the thing can go through spikes and take no damage whatsoever. Ow. Can't swap from my inventory like you could, say, in the GTA video game. Unfortunately, but it is what it is. I'll just kick around here. Grab the baseball bat. Take this monster out. Take the shotguns. I got plenty of rounds for this. Wha-bam. 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 And done. Mess up a little here. It's much closer the boss actually occurs than I normally would suspect. Oh, and by the way, in case anyone's wondering, I'm actually using the Japanese port of the PC Engine and not the North American one, because that build actually had like some censored content, as well as the mask changed to red due to the legality issues regarding the Friday the 13th at the time. I imagine my brand would actually have a lot of legality issues for the Simidolian if I had like the mask identical to the Mando, come to think of that. Kick. Punch if you must. Okay, the latter bit, you gotta watch out for some traps as well as some bats. Okay, no traps here. Punch your way through. Be wary of the bats. And after that, it should be much of a problem here. I had to wait for the scroll to go forward, so I could get across the level. And get out of here. Must be wary of whatever objects come in. Took some damage, but it's alright. Not really meant to be easy facing against evil variants of Rick. so be forewarned. There's one more you have to face. It'll pop up at any given point. So it's really RNG. Done. I'm getting out of here. Okay, final boss. Get a little peachy, because you're likely gonna have to deal with these zombie-like cats that flow after you. Ripped from a page from Sam and Rooney. From the Evil Dead series. If you catch my drift. Take your time. Kill it if you must. And once you get to this part, ow. And done. That's it. I have enough health for me to get through this, so... Well, gonna have to try trying while I still can. This is the chapel that is originally cut in the North America version. And there's meant to be like a Jesus-like place here, and it gives me like a pretty good foreshadowing exactly what's about to happen to Jennifer. Just thought, offer some spoiler alerts. I know, but it is what it is. Four health to go through, and that's it. Gotta grab this thing and destroy the chairs. Fortunately, they now take one hit. After that, nope. Done. I'm getting out of here. Okay, gotta be mindful of these hands. This area is one of the most difficult parts, like, in the arcade game. Because you gotta make sure... I missed it completely, but that's okay. It won't be matter. Whoop. Gotta make sure I time it right. Get out of here. Whoop. Oh my god, look at that soundtrack. It's super lit if you like listen to it carefully. And I love that setup because it lets me know, hey, Jennifer's in danger. I gotta rescue her now. This part here, you have to make sure you kick your way through. You want to make sure you do that. Slide, and I'm out of here. Sliding in particular, it's really powerful, but at the same time, it's extremely dangerous to use, and you have to use it well. Oh no. It's alright, I got this. And after that, I gotta get out of here. Climb up this ladder. This is meant to be the multi-path route, actually. You can take any other path you really want. I actually prefer this path, personally. It just makes this run much easier. That's just my preference. Gotta be wary of these monsters that spawn. I mainly hang out here. I'm getting out of here. That was close. Okay. Here's Jennifer. This is when the golden moment that really, really hit the fan real hard. The moment I just witnessed Jennifer turn into this hideous beast. Okay. I'm gonna have to jump depending on exactly the positioning. And if I mistype it wrong, I'm gonna get hit. They're basically like a pull from like Mordhau. I got 1 health left, so... After constructive hits, you will witness Jennifer actually saying, "Help me." And it was really hard for people to at least be able to hear exactly what Jennifer was trying to say. Okay, I'm gonna have to pay attention in this 3rd stage. There's going to be specific J's you have to at least, like, follow, as you know, I could tell. Ah, I mistimed it. It was in range, technically. Basically, the point I want to put out there for you viewers is don't let that beast get too close to you, or else it'll wind up murdering you. And that's that. Still got like 2 more stages I'll have to go through. But should be pretty cakewalk. Transform once more. And this is the final stage, and you have to pay close attention to it. It's really interesting seeing how, like, Namco was able to, like, put together this interesting 2D brawler. Inspired by Wonder Momo. And most of the early fighting games they had worked on at that point was really less engaging. And there we go. I defeat the boss. It's really much tragic. Personally, I look at this, and I really love that Giddy Up Dark twist. But wait. Rick is pest. You know what he does? Goes in the heart and destroys every living vile beast that lies within this alien-like type of world. It's really cool. This one can be a little peachy to at least deal with, because you have to make sure you pop these monsters. I like to think they're meant to be eggs or something. They float randomly. They don't really have a predetermined pattern, so you're gonna have to pay close attention. And I want to be very careful. It's a very difficult game to at least like play, as you know, Doc Patel. And there's the mother. You gotta destroy this thing. There's no other way. Ow. Ah, hit me in the head. So it's really RNG where these floats are actually... These bubbles are actually gonna float. And you're gonna have to deal with them real quick and deadly. So yeah, there you go. Ooh. Keep popping as many as you can, and destroy whatever, like, vile evil that actually lies within each world. And I keep saying that too much, but oh well. Yep, if you don't get to that area on time. Nope, it didn't float up. Ah, this part is really, really peachy, at least I get to. And it takes forever for the auto-scroller to at least, like, get over to that side. Literally forever. Pop, pop. Get out of here. Talk about mowing the lawn here all of a sudden. Do you know what I really love, Splatterhouse? One of my biggest gripes when I'm playing like a final fight game is the Z-axis. If I was meant to be the sole army player myself, I would love to be able to master this game. And this is coming from me who just love playing like titles like GoldenEye, Donkey Kong, Super Mario Bros. And I love how level designs are meant to be designed around like be able to master it. And yep, you meant to at least defeat the beast and get out of the way before this vial of goo actually spills down in the arcade, but this one doesn't. But at least I made it out there just in time. I'll promise at least like out for some little interesting commentary regarding development on the book a bit very shortly. While I get a few things all set up. Whoop, whoop, whoop. This is meant to be the final part of the stage. You have to do a lot of platforming, akin to that of Donkey Kong for the arcade. Just a good reference. It's really like dark, and I love how the music is so good to listen to. If you listen closely to as a viewer yourself. And that's it. There we go. Ow. Gotta be mindful of these hands, as well as some of the projectiles that float above. They're pretty much technically RNG. They might throw it towards like the character where I'm standing in here, maybe not. But I'm gonna have to pay close attention to it either way. So I must be wary and be forewarned when facing this boss. It's meant to be like 5 times. I'm pretty sure. Ah, that was so close. I scampered away. Don't want to get too egregious. That's like the first stage, right? So I got like 2 more to go through. This is meant to be a little tricky here. Yeah, okay, that was the 5th stage, actually. I messed up. Well, I beat the boss, and that's it. I am aware there's a Splatterhouse arcade version of this game with the same name that also released for the Switch, and it's like roughly $7 if you got some money to spare. And there's also the Namco Museum, Namco Bandai Museum, that also contains Splatterhouse for Nintendo Switch. And it's really cool. So the mask actually explodes. You don't normally actually see this in the arcade, but one thing I could actually tell you is following after the credits, I'm going to spoil to you that the mask actually resurfaces and laughs at you before the fin actually appears. And I really absolutely love how it absolutely twists me as like the player myself. And this is some really early elements of some really good storytelling we get before we got titles to say Half-Life or System Shock in particular. That's how mind-blowing it really is at the time. Oh man, that final boss basically evolves like You have to make sure to pay close attention to the hands as well as in the dirt projectiles coming after your head. Oh my god. Music is so good, but if you want to try it out, there's nothing wrong, you can actually go with it. And that's really pretty much about that, I suppose. So there you go. Just taking a look at a few tropes here and there. Scrolling credits. Whew. And that's it. At least for this game. Now, to transition towards the next scene. Just gonna throw this logo here for just a moment. Feel free to admire some of my creation about this. And so, while I'm getting a few things all set up, I could actually commentate a bit about exactly the logo you are seeing right here. When it came to at least wanting to build like a specific logo regarding the Simidolian universe I wanted to make, I always wanted at least like build a specific logo that is meant to be a reference to say the Mandalorian logo, right? But I didn't want it to be derived from its actual source material. But I knew that I wanted to have like a specific skull, and I wanted to tie into some of the interesting specific world buildings that goes on regarding the saber mask. One of the choices I have made thus far, as you see here, this logo actually came from original project that I have actually hosted from a college campus one time. And this occurred back around 2022. I have actually selected this logo because I wanted to at least represent something, aka this is meant to be the logo for the police military branch. And when I see that logo every day, I always want to see the logo be like rusted, really old, ancient, but it's meant to serve as a severe defiance over exactly what this military police operation is capable of. And this isn't just like typical just super spy stuff. We're basically hunting down a bunch of dangerous terrorist organizations and hunting out all variety of criminals through the underworld. And this is a logo that basically represents that. So, why this look? Well, originally, the skull itself is actually meant to be a saber. And the saber itself, skull, actually originated from the Ice Age. If any folks here actually watched an obscure animated film called Ice Age, this is the saber-toothed cat I was absolutely inspired by. But this time, I absolutely kept it really absolutely a skull-like shape, as shown here. So, therefore, this is some of the interesting trivia I'll be happy to provide you at this time. And that's that. Now, let's get started at least booting up the next game. One warning though, this is going to be a much difficult and brutal game for me to barrel through. Meant to be no easy feat. But no matter, I am planning at least I try to barrel through it the best I can. I may eventually die trying, but it's worth the hassle. So bear with me for a moment while I get a few things all booted up. Okay, now, let's see if I can get you live. Perfect. Let me see. Well, I could at least retool it a bit. I suppose this look would have to do just for now. Okay. Now with that video all set up, I shall boot up Splatterhouse 2. Coming right up. Here we go. Let's showcase a little wee wanna intro while I'm in here. So, what have I actually been doing thus far? Just a few days ago, I just recently got back from at least editing a chapter not long ago. And as I was working on it, I decided when at least I take the time to at least review most of the material, make sure that I correct any of the grammar I've actually made, as well as in the past tense, very important keyword, and make sure it's polished up to the best of my ability. I have cut in some few materials here and over there, or read just a few things, but really wasn't really too bad as I would have suspect. That said, I got one last particular chapter I like to work on, and once it's all concluded, that would basically mark the end of completing part 2. And I'll have to transition towards part 3. So, during this transition, what else am I actually going to do? Well, as for mention regarding the blog post I've clearly stated, I'm planning to at least commission one of the artists at least help me build a cover book artwork for the upcoming novella called The Awakening. No, actually, I mean the Dabro Prison. I messed up. I want to build this cover book for artwork for the Dabro Prison to go out and actually publish it on the web. And once it gets out there on the web, this is a great time for me to celebrate, well, over 25 years of GoldenEye 007. It's another game I wish I could be able to stream at this time, but I'm actually going to put this idea aside until the book is pretty much ready at this stage. But for now, I think I'll be getting ready to play just a moment. Just needed a water, if you don't mind. And we are off. I'm going to need to make sure to take a look at my controllers, so this is going to be done in normal. Let's try this one, shall we? I hope I don't overcomplicate this. Okay, this part is pretty basic. You just fight through evil, vile monsters that are actually laid out throughout each of the level. Take your time and be very close attention towards each of the monsters that pop out right over here and over here. This monster will let him fall to his death, so be forewarned. Let's go. Gonna need to make sure I move towards the left or to the right, so I hit something first coming toward my right, and then move towards the left afterwards. Messed up the wrong button. I don't know what I keep thinking of. Let me restart this. I want to change the different control scheme. This is not how I like to start this, actually. I want to make sure I choose the one that just fits. Yep, that works. Okay, attempt number 2. But this time, I'm going to stick with the proper default control scheme. Though, janky, mind you, but it is what it is. I'm just going to skip some of those parts. We'll also be very wary of all the danger that comes around left and right. Ooh, spooky, I have to say for myself. Oh, I almost fell to my death. Run away. Okay, the first boss. This one, it's pretty cakewalk. I just punch it till it dies. I messed up. It's okay, though. I need to make sure I practice this slide. And make sure to get that right. It's very, very important. Yoink. Yoink. Punch, 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 punch. I just simply stand in this default location and just push my way for whatever evil vial comes in my way. Pretty self-explanatory if you ask me. And that's the end of the elevator ride. I'll just just automatically walk away without any additional inputs and be on my way. Next part, I'm going to have to pay very close attention towards either the vile beast that gets in my way, including the purple ones. Punch, punch. I hope you punch it. Okay, jump. Whoop. Get back. Fortunately, I got enough spacing. I don't trust this thing. But I'll let him jump around. And punch it away. Punch it. Oh, he scampered away. Okay. Oh, that was close. They're not gonna jump, so I should be safe to at least knock these things out with my bones. Oh, that tiny is so unfortunate, but that's okay. Alright. Now the hard part's over. Now comes the next boss. This is gonna be really goated. I mean, look at the soundtrack is actually presented. It's really fantastic. The boss I'm actually looking at right here basically reminds me a lot like the Emperor mix in with Freddy Krueger, if I would like to describe the character design. Don't stand here no more. Just go back here. Punch. I wanted to switch real quickly, but I couldn't get it on time. That's okay. There we go. Best if I don't really simply rapidly tap, otherwise my character won't be able to transition it easily, so I have to do it like once. I think that's one of the biggest, like, cheeky moments that I have to understand when I'm playing Splatterhouse. The stretch. It's meant to be a river, technically. Gonna punch these things. Beware water. That's death. Jump over it. Yep. Don't want to get myself doomed. Punch. Whoop. This one, I could just push it aside. Who cares? But I still have to be mindful of these fishes over there. Pick that aside. Okay, this one's cakewalk. Ooh. Oh. He's not gonna jump. That is fine. This fish will throw at me regardless. Ow. Punched myself to death, but that's okay. I made it to this other side. Yes, I want that one. Stand here and try to make sure you don't take any damage. I only have 1 health left, so if I mess this up and I don't stand at the proper determined area, which is like around here, and you get too close to it, I'm basically dead. So that's my little tricky part here. Ah, you can never dodge it. I don't think it's really worth at least like swinging at all. I just let it kind of just bypass it. But hey, it's very powerful. I just simply stand here and just let them swing, come on over. Rinse and repeat, if I say so myself. And to finish it off, I'm just gonna cut this nasty pest here, and I am out. Whew, that's this level done. The house awaits. We're gonna need to move fast because there's gonna be a little evil, vile darkness coming from behind. I can't slide. I am dead. I gotta make sure to slide forward. Clear them out. And I'm out of here. Cool. That's a real tricky part, actually. Whoop. Punch, punch. These are the undead. I must be wary of these ghosts here. It's okay. You have to make sure the controllers are absolutely inverted. Oh my god. I really hate when these ghosts at least like trap me into the pitfall. I am stuck in this pitfall and I cannot get out. This is a really tough part, and I really hate this level in particular. I want to get out of here so badly. So many entities being rendered at the same time. I'm getting out of here. Only have 1 health left, so skip it for that section. Plenty of Easter egg of the thing coming in my way. Whoop. You just need to make sure you time it right. The moment he jumps, you punch, rinse and repeat. Treat it with more punches, if necessary. Just kick. Yep, dead. All done. I'm out of this boss. Woo! I only have like, what, 3 health left? I think I have 3 health left. Otherwise, that's it. Okay, here we go. To the mansion I go! Whoa. Get out of here. Ruby. Wha-bam! The shotgun that never fails me. Woo. Okay. I have 1 round left. Whoop. Gonna discard my shotgun since there's not much round left and get out. Oh my god, that was so brutal. You can't see those hands through those libraries, so be very careful. I want to make sure I take my time, but not be put in some really nasty situations, unfortunately. Otherwise, those hands will absolutely have a good time with you. Just a damn shame they don't say the word, I'll swallow your soul. Oh, I thought there's more. My fault, my fault. After that, that's really about it, so I'm getting out of here. Okay, this part gets a little tricky. Gotta pay attention to these monsters come out from one of these tubes over here. And that's that. Whoa! Ah! No! I took damage. They're really tough hombres to deal with. Don't stand in these shadows. Whoop. Ah! Whoop. Oh, that was so intense. No! Gotta punch these things off one by one. Get out of here. Ugh. Finally, I made it to the exit. That was brutal, actually. You're gonna need to punch these things. And you're gonna have to jump through them. Ow. Okay, get out of here. Whoa. Yeah, I messed up the timing, unfortunately. It's a little tricky, this part here is. Jumped into it too early. Ah! I missed that punch completely. Just let this thing pass. Punch it. Do it. I don't care. I'm getting out of here. That was tricky platforming. Get out of here. Punch. I gotta get out of here. And I'm on my way to the exit. Here comes another boss, which is basically a zombie doctor. And he must be doing some really mad experiments. I wonder if it might be the scientists that must have created all this madness. I am dead. Wasn't paying close attention to it. I also like evaporate one of these things. Oh man. Be forewarned. And I catch it on fire. Proudest achievement. I'm just getting out of here. so I get some health back. Okay, this stage, stage 6, very, very tricky. I had to be in the right position, gotta be mindful of exactly where the hands are coming from. Oh man, it gets so good, but at the same time, it's very brutal at this stage. But it gets better, and I love it. Even when I die trying in this run. Gonna be real honest with everyone here in this stream. Let's tune again. And there's Jennifer's girlfriend, now being taken away. I had to stand in this area. Don't stand here for too long, because you want to make sure you deal with these hands. Ah, no. I wasted a lot of health. But I got myself a health back. I can't help myself when I keep punching. I keep thinking to myself, this is Street Fighter, when it's not. If that makes sense. That's a funny trope that actually gets to me when I play Splatterhouse, when it's not really meant to be the case. Oh, I patched all these things. Whoa! I messed up completely. Alright, here comes the boss. And done. That's it. That's very difficult. Woo! Time to jump down. Alright, get ready. This stage, not only still difficult, but it's gonna get better. I get to rescue Jennifer in this one, in case you're wondering. Pop, pop, pop. Pop, pop, pop. Punch, punch. I somehow must have not looked the other way around, so that's what must happen. God, I owe these developers a drink for not. And yeah, I don't have much health left, but fortunately for me, this stage is going to transition, and I can restart this as many times as I want. Gotta rescue. Punch. Hopefully you stay in the right spot, so you don't get electrocuted. And I did not really get the right positioning, unfortunately. I should probably back off. It's all about the positionings. Like, you know how when you play a game of Counter-Strike 2, you have to make sure you time it the proper positions in order to get these nades for all right? Yeah, this is basically the same thing you're doing in this game in Splatterhouse, but you're punching things, not throwing things. It's great, right? Ow! Ugh. Let's rescue Jennifer, and I'm done. I gotta get out of here. Let's go. I can't actually remain towards the right all the time, because there's gonna be some projectiles that come after me if I don't get it out of my sight. This character reminds me a lot like one of the Watchmen characters in the Watchmen comics, which is a really interesting series. I love to read it myself, but... Ow. Okay, I made it. I lift my way towards freedom. I love how this soundtrack's introduced me. It's so cool. Oh my god. Okay. Let's get out of here. Onward to the final boss. Can't stay in the center for too long. Get out of the center, for the love of God. And oh, I didn't stand in right. Whoa. I gotta, like, stand somewhere kind of, like, in the middle, but not really. Yeah, that's a really tricky part. Ow. There's so much precision to at least, like, stand in that one spot. Whoa. Any moment. Alright, coming towards our stop. I'm getting out of here. Took it to hell for so. But wait, we're not done yet. There's another boss he had to fight, and another boss following up after that. Oh, I swear I'm gonna turn my controllers around here. If I'm gonna die trying for this to get it to work. Come on. Oh, I can't get it. Ah. I messed up completely. I have to be jumping mid-air for this to work. Yeah, they have little actually shoots and stuff. It's really cool stuff, honestly. What's going on behind the scenes. Oh, man. Hopefully you can actually hear me with this audio, because otherwise, if not, I'll have to go back to the drawing board next time I stream. Okie doke. I somehow picked it up, but I messed up my timing. I didn't think that would happen, but that's okay. Delete it. Okay, gotta make sure I kick. I messed up completely, but that's okay. And I'm done. I'm out of here. Okay. Now, comes the final boss. I'm gonna have to get real medieval for this if I want to take it out completely. Ugh, I really love the 2D platforming, how very specific each of the level designs are. I want to punch it real early. Yeah, I don't really think it'd be a good idea to slide. I kinda wish it would work. Oh shit, here it comes. I need to stand in this tree here. Ah, I messed up. Left, left, right. Maybe? I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my head around exactly how it's meant to be done. It's very specific what it needs you to do. Oh, I somehow punched it, even though it wasn't in the complete view. Oh my god, it's so brutal. Can I punch? Messed up completely. Oh wait, I got an idea how to do it. I'm trying to wrap my head around the pattern of what I'm supposed to do. I didn't get the right timing. I missed the boss. I messed up completely. Ah! I had to do this all over again. I'm gonna die trying for this run, but know what? Don't matter. I wanted to post some more like Q&As, but you're free to ask away in case you have additional questions. It's hard for me to get myself a gripe over exactly what I want to discuss about. Maybe there could be some stuff you have questions regarding about the book, or you just simply want to watch me play some games, which is what I'm doing, and my run is not good as I would suspect. Ugh, it's so tough. And then the end of the ride. Okay. I don't know how many times I could actually do this, but... well, it's worth a shot, I suppose. Bop! Give me that thing. Ah! I want to throw it right away. Oh, give me that. Oh, I could dodge it. Ah. Oh, I got a ton of lives. I don't know how it happened, but okay. That was weird. What just happened? I messed up completely. I'm not jumping up. I got to. Ah! I want to punch. What? That's... ah. I couldn't get it right. But oh well, I tried. Oh, in case anyone's actually wondering, I'm actually running through this in emulation. This is not running in actual real hardware. Oh, I somehow hit it. I'm not getting the jump button right as I would suspect. I mean, I don't expect the controllers to be as tight as I would suspect, unfortunately. And this could be quite a problem later on in the level. Oh, I love the creativity that goes on for each of the levels. Oh well, that makes sense, I suppose. I missed completely. I can't get it. It's out of bounds. There. Done. Perfect. Alright. Now to feast the evil vial of darkness. Let's see if we can end this. Or, I might as well die trying. I'm just gonna crouch. Like so. Can't do that. Yep, it's a transition to a different stage. I forgot to at least punch the other dude before it comes down the floor. One. Just gonna go kick. That's how you meant to do it. But unfortunately, I messed up completely. I couldn't get that transition. That's a really... I gotta make sure I, kick around here. I figured it out, actually, on top of my head. Ow. I got to crouch. Get out of here. Punch. Ah! I messed up. Oh my god, the bat is so tricky. I'm out of help. No! And I'm out of lives too, so that's really unfortunate. Now we do this again. Gotta stand mainly around the center. There's no shadows for me to at least communicate except hey, there's something actually falling behind. You might want to take cover, or else you're gonna take damage. That's my little gripes about this game. And I think Spider-Man, for the Game Boy Advance, actually had an interesting system where it uses its spider sense to let you know, hey, there's a coming danger coming up towards ya. Gotta dodge it now. I kinda actually like that feature, actually. Oh well, I had to memorize it by hand. Fine. Ah. Ah. Nope. The jumping is the one that is really peachy. Like here. I can get the other part. There we go. Whew, 4 lives. Blech, I don't even know if I can actually beat this. But I think I got, like, the first two. The other part, yeah, it's going to require me to at least, like, memorize the pattern. The predetermined pattern over exactly where the bat is going to fly. Just going to kick. Just kick here. Once 3 times is up, then you can punch it. Whatever. 1 here. Done here. I figured it out on top of my head now. Kick. Punch. Stand over here. Ah! I don't have much health to go through. Wait, I thought it took damage. I guess it did not. Oh well. 1, 2, 3. Oh, punched. Okay. I messed up. 1. Ow! I can't. Ah. I have to deal with these wolves, and it's so cheeky to deal with. Damn it. Alright, here comes the bat. Oh, I have to do this numerous of times. What? Oh, that's ridiculous. Wow. That's really interesting boss design, actually. Ah. I wish I could just, like, slow mode everything. You know? Yoink. I don't think I could actually, like, kick it up like that. So I'll make sure to keep that in mind, honestly. Hopefully time will be permitting, I suppose. I can't get out on time. Ugh. Punch, punch. Punch. This is supposed to be the end of the ride. So I'll take it. Ugh. I didn't realize to remain down. Ah. There we go. I'm getting out of here. Finally. Oh my god, I need to make this work. Okay. Oh, this is it! This is it! Oh! Yes! I did it! I beat the game! Woo! Oh man, that was so brutal. And that concludes the end of Splatterhouse Part 2. Huh. If there's one particular subject I like to study, I think I'm really actually more interested at least studying and analyzing all the techniques of each monologues, right? The monologues that basically incorporate such as the character's thought, both directly and indirectly. That is a specific subject I really want to actually explore for myself. Oh my god, that level is so brutal. But I enjoy it. Ugh. That concludes the end for Splatterhouse Part 2. Oh, I need myself a drink of water. It was so brutal. Alright, I'm gonna be checking a few things, and this year has been quite heck of a lot shaky as far as I could tell. Well, it is what it is, I suppose. Ooh. What am I looking for? Whew. There's Ken Loeb on the screen. Quite surprised to see that. I mean, he was one of the characters responsible with his involvement with GoldenEye 007, Perfect Dark, and even the Road Squadron series, as far as I could tell. And he basically now works at Microsoft, as far as I could tell. Something I do want to point out to you. And that's it. Okay, let's load up another game. Onward to Splatterhouse. Onward to the next chapter. Oh, it's gonna look real cool. This game, unlike the first two, is basically a Final Fight game. I'm gonna make sure to set to normal difficulty, because I'm really went blinded. I love how they give everything they got for the final game and conclude it. And they actually completely reworked the mask here in particular. So this takes place some few years following after the events of Splatterhouse too. Jennifer, along with his boy, basically lived in this big mansion, and a bunch of evil darkness actually broke out. And now Rickett was actually summoned once again to go out and destroy whatever evil that actually lurks beyond that mansion. And that's what I'm actually going to be doing. So yeah, really nice presentation, honestly. It's been quite hairy all these years. Weather's actually dropping, and I picked up a hand warmer not long ago. Let me see. Unless... level... power up, attack, jump. Okay. I'm just gonna... play it normal. If you wander aimlessly, you surely will fail in your quests. After completing a room, press the start button to reveal the map of the current floor. So this is meant to be a time-based system where you have to defeat some monsters. If you don't get to a certain room in a given time, you're not going to be able to at least get the good ending altogether. So I'm going to try my run to at least get to it. So this one's really explanatory of what these abilities actually do. I gotta get over here. Jennifer covers in hiding, avoiding capture from the monster. I'll be happy to at least read this out as I'm playing through this. Oh. Wait. I gotta get to the source. I need to get to left, obviously. I don't want to waste my time. Oh my god, I'm not used to the controller, so word of warning. I really don't know what exactly button combinations there are. I'm gonna be honest with everyone here. I should probably read, like, the manual or something. I want to be able to practice it. Where am I going? This way. I just speed stuff up. Yep, the game actually told me I gotta keep moving forward. Ah, so cheap. I hope I make it out here in time. I don't know how to do that, actually. I wonder if I actually at least, like, perform like the spin cat, because that was really bonkers what I just pulled off. And I'm getting out of here. The monster's in a foul smell. It moves closer to Jennifer. Oh no, we'll have to rescue her. If you got any particular questions since I'm trying to fight a monster, feel free to ask away. Oh, look at least rip a tear. Oh, wait, this is a transition. I gotta take out the beast. Ah, 30 seconds. Yeah, I destroyed it. Woo! Safe and sound. Whew. Save Jennifer once more, but wait, you got yourself a problem, son. There's meant to be this little parasite you have to get out, so I'm gonna have to kill some evil, vile things. Ugh. Huh, what's this? It's a boreworm. The evil one put them in its body of the victim. They devour them from the inside and turn them into mindless monsters. So, yep, it's one heck of a problem we'll have to deal with eventually. You have to destroy the giant boreworm to stop it. Rick fills with rage, ascends to the second floor. Mansion second floor. I need to save these power-ups for later. I'm just gonna go down so I can make my wee one way out of this area. Ooh, forward Jim moves, her skin gruffly waves across her face. It begins to devour her. And once again, I'll have to destroy whatever evil lies in here. Yep, I waste all my power completely. I should probably normally want to stick with this character. I'll just beat these things. Somehow I just rolled it. That was kind of wild. Ugh. Yep, I gotta go that way. Well, this is kind of like a platforming segment. I'll be mindful of the hands. Can I get out of here? Oh, I hate how they block. It's so annoying. I wasted all my entire life, and there's low life pickup? Really? I just went in there blind. I'm not really a big fan of it, and I don't know, like, the moves. I should probably look it up so I know exactly how to do it, actually, come to think of it. So lame. Oh well. Oh, let me go down there. The worm grows PC on her organs. Might not be able to make it there on time because, again, I don't know the moves on my top of my head. My biggest gripe. I think I make it on time. I knew that timing is gonna really kill me right here. Ugh. Oh my god. I'm out of lives. I am stuck. Ugh, I am stuck. Oh my god. Okay, attempt number 2. Oh man, come to think of it. think I'll take this route, but I don't want to waste so much time. I really wanted to push the jump button, but my stupid head thinks I can't do it. Oh, I picked up a book. Oh my god. I wanted to do the whirlwind hit so badly. I did not know exactly what that button combination is meant to be. Oh my god, I'm not a big fan of, like, final fight styles. Because I never really, like, understood exactly how I'm supposed to barrel through it. But, well, there's your tree for ya. Ugh. Oh my god. Ugh, I really hate this part. I don't know, like, the control schemes on the top of my head. That is, like, built into the game. Blech. I'm gonna set this game to easy because I really do not know exactly... Hey, what's this binding here I actually press? I wanna know what that does. Oh, this control scheme would make a lot of sense. I'm gonna set it to easy because I don't know how it works. I'll get my instruction manual. the game is gonna have some built-in tutorials to this one, I might as well pull up a manual. I'm gonna dig it up, if you don't mind. While facing the enemy, press the direction button towards the enemy. Okay, that makes sense, I suppose. I'm trying to look at like, each of the specific moves you could actually do. Blech, I can't really do it. And I might as well die trying while I still can, I suppose. Oh, wait. Okay, that makes sense. Ah, yes, that makes sense. I know where I'm going. I gotta get up over here. Ugh. I'm gonna get out of here. I really wish it had been much easier as cakewalk for me to at least like speak while I'm actually like rooting my way through evil fiends. I guess it's not, I suppose. I completely messed up the range. Ugh. Dead. And I'm out of here. I gotta get to the boss. Oh no! I'm gonna take the fight against a bunch of monsters. I keep pressing the wrong button. God damn it. To the exit. And I'm getting out of here. If you got any particular questions you have regarding about the Simidolian, I'm open for having any conversation. I'm just trying to do my part to at least write my own literature based on what I know, and that's what really matters to me. Honestly, with lobotomized. I'm getting out of here. Forgot I just rebind some of these buttons. I want to jump. Oh my god. No! I lost my life. I'm back to my good old little red pearl day. This is like the really hardest part. I can never get it right. And I don't know why this control scheme never works. Ugh. Late for the party, I know. Yeah, I completely missed it because the timer went 0. Oh my god. That is so difficult. Ugh, I really hate this part, and I'm not really too familiar with how, like, the controller mechanics actually work. Ugh. I completely messed it up entirely, because I don't really understand how I'm supposed to play for this game. Like, I never really understood exactly... Hey, how do I actually spin? You're meant to also, like, get, like, multiple endings. I really wish I had some more tutorials that basically teach you how to play the final fight, but honest take, I'm not really, like, a big fan of it, personally, myself. And it really isn't nearly that good for me, honestly. I get there's some people that actually like it, but to me, no, I don't like it at all. Maybe I'm not supposed to at least, like, punch at all. I can't wrap my bloody head over exactly what I'm doing wrong. Blech. Oh well, I'm just gonna conclude this run for the day. I got some other important errands I'll need to take care of right about now. So anyhow, I wish I could close up like Splatterhouse Part 3, but... oh well, till next time I suppose. For now, appreciate your time at least tuning into the stream. If you're watching, I hope to see you in a bit.